Ooh, that sounded.
And I love When Goes the Heart.
Hi, I'm Jax, and that sound was like the most satisfying sound. I want a club soda now.
And I'm Dan. I despise When Goes the Heart, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
I try to run a professional show.
I timed it with you hitting that button so perfectly. I can't tell you. I went over and then I saw you were about to push the button and I waited and it was perfection. And the fact that Jax heard it in her headphones tells me that I nailed it. At this point, anybody that's that's not listening to the pod because of stuff like that has stopped listening, right?
I would think so.
Okay. Cool.
I would think they're listening because of stuff like that.
Just know I'm trying. I'm trying to right the ship.
You're trying. You're doing your best.
Welcome, everybody. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hopefully, you're watching us on philo.tv/DTH, where you can watch this program, the program of us, and the program that we're talking about. It's a both and, only on Philo, philo.tv/DTH. Aaron, you got a Ryan update for us. It's been a week. I imagine you worked hard over the past week.
I had forgotten about that.
I imagine over the past week, you've worked hard.
I've been thinking about it all week.
You've worked hard to try to get back in contact with Ryan, who, by the way, if you didn't listen, Aaron once learned how to swing dance with a fellow named Ryan in middle school.
Since his lost connection.
That's
we're
right.
trying to make that lost connection a found
That's exactly
connection.
right. It's a new podcast we're starting called Found Connection. I don't know. We're still working on the title. Aaron, you got anything?
No updates on Ryan this week.
Okay.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
Maybe.
Great.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well,
She's not going to do her best.
I don't think she is. Jax, hi. How are you?
Hi, good. It's been a long week of trying to find Ryan, and I haven't.
You've been doing it, huh?
You've been really boots
Wow.
on the ground on this thing.
Yeah, I have been. I found a couple of Facebook profiles that could be him. So we're just going to narrow it down. I've sent friend requests, haven't been accepted yet.
Interesting. How does Alex feel about you searching random Ryans
Ryans
from
and
the
just friending
New
all of them?
England area?
He knows that I'm a matchmaker at heart,
Sure.
so
That's right.
he's
He
fully
understands.
supportive of
It's just
it.
another
Yeah.
case.
Classic
Yeah,
Alex.
I mean, he said that if we want to put some money towards it and hire a private eye, that
Wow.
he'll do it.
But won't buy a high-speed internet connection.
I will
that's,
say-
that's,
I gotta be
that's
honest,
like
your speech at the Deckies, I meant to talk to you about it afterwards. Was that a bit or is that true?
Okay, I fell up the stairs a la Jennifer Lawrence. That was a bit.
Yeah. Do you guys not have the best internet?
We don't have the best internet. It's not Alex's fault.
Okay,
It just
okay.
doesn't. Well, no, I should say this. It's not Alex's fault, and it's not it's just for some reason our internet does cut out a lot, and we haven't put the time or money into figuring out
But
why.
are y'all trying to, is it a bargain internet or is it good internet that's just not
It's
working?
It's a bargain internet.
Unbelievable. So it is Alex's fault. Alex, I love you. You're wonderful. This is crazy, man.
You got to pinch your pennies.
He's
where you
just
can.
No.
he's practicing what he preaches. He talks to his clients and he's like, you gotta figure out where to save money.
I bet you that.
Here's how I do it.
I bet you that art on the wall behind you would buy you a year of internet.
Oh wait. Oh, actually, so Alex and his sister and his mom made that.
Oh my gosh.
They made it.
So in nostalgia points,
I
it
would buy that. If Alex sold me
Isn't
that,
it great?
It's really
if you're
nice.
watching on Philo.
The difference
I love
between
that.
bargain internet and good internet is so little. It's not like first class on an airplane. Like the first year we
Yes.
brought people in for Bramblefest, we were like, we should fly them all first class. And then we looked, and the seat for like Jax, for instance, is $300. First class would be $1,200. And it's like, okay, well, we clearly can't do that. But with internet, it's like bad internet, $40 a month. Good internet, $60 a month.
But that $20 can buy me an avocado toast, so I don't have to give that up.
Oh my
That's
God.
right.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
kidding.
I don't want to do it. Just
I
stick
will
to Red
s-
Baron pizzas. and
I
it'll be
will
fine.
say I have cheap internet that I've been grandfathered into, and now it's hard. Like now the leap up to good internet would be a pretty big leap. Like I pay so little. I pay less than $20 a month
know,
for
I know,
internet,
but
and so it's like tough.
It's
tough for me to
you
take
know
the
where I
leap.
stand on this.
I know you do. But
This
it's
is
fine.
crazy.
I never have any problems with my streaming, and so why get
No,
more?
if it's not affecting you, then pay the $15. But if you, I don't know, have a job where you podcast regularly on multiple platforms and maybe turn in auditions and everything else, I don't know, maybe have good internet.
I don't know. I think you keep,
You know,
keep
although
doing you.
he just got his bonus, so I have a feeling there's going to be an upgrade.
Alex makes more
right.
money than the two of us combined, and they are using Cricket internet, and I don't understand it.
Hey, Alex, you keep doing you, bud.
I love you, Alex, but you got to get better internet.
Keep doing you. Keep doing you.
I've seen the suits you wear. I've seen them.
They are really nice.
They're
suits,
incredibly
aren't they?
nice suits.
Well, he
Yeah.
has to.
And
He's
you
not
have to look
bringing-
good for your job.
He's not bringing clients to his house.
I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying. We're talking about. My guess would be an upgrading $200 for the year. 200, maybe
For the whole year?
For the whole year. I bet you could
You don't
upgrade.
know New York internet.
I
Don't
do.
act like you know
it's
New York
actually
internet.
cheaper than here because it's more competitive. They
See,
have
that makes
more
sense.
options in New York than you have in South Carolina. We have Spectrum, AT&T. That's it. You have so many options.
You know
in
what it
New
is?
York.
And Dan, to your point about the airline, I think there are just certain things that you get in your head that you don't need to pay for.
That's
and
right.
like we always, whenever we fly, we're always like the last group to board, like always way in the back, like never gonna like upgrade, even for like a Comfort Plus.
Yeah.
No way.
I upgrade myself to Comfort Plus on my own dime. The business buys our seats, and then if I don't like my seat, I pay out of my own pocket to sit.
Are
where
you a Comfort Plus boy?
I just am 6'5", and I don't fit in a coach seat in most cases. So it's a me problem. I get it.
Are you, Bran? Are you a Comfort Plus boy?
No, he's full coach. He would never.
You can give me whatever you want to.
Bran also won't pay the 50 cents to buy his ticket early at the movies.
exactly
I mean,
right.
he won't. Bran is
It's
not.
principle.
I am a convenience charge dude. You could tell me any convenience charge, and I would pay it because it's convenience.
My problem is, and then we'll get to the episode. I pay a monthly fee
Here it
for
is.
unlimited movie tickets. You're not getting another dime from me in regards to the tickets that I'm getting as a part of my membership.
But
You're not getting it.
let's say Wicked Part 2 is coming out, Jax, and you can't go to the box office. For 50 cents, I could get a middle seat in the middle of the thing for 50 extra cents to make sure when I show up, I don't have to get there early. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to talk to some teenager who doesn't know how to run the POS system.
Why are you bringing them into this?
To
They didn't do anything.
figure out the seat.
Catching
I don't have to
strays.
do any of that. For 50 cents, I can know I have the best seat in the house. That's the easiest 50 cents I've spent all year. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bran, I get it. You don't want the.
Jax isn't
You
going
don't
to take
want.
a
I
side.
want
No.
to stick it to the man.
I will occasionally.
So they are getting another dime from you.
in a situation like that. Yeah.
Okay.
In a situation where the seats where I take a look at the theater
Yeah.
and I play the odds there. I'm like, I feel good. I like most times I can get whatever seat I want to for whatever movie I want to, and so it's like, why am I going to pay 50 cents?
But it isn't they're not getting another dime from me. It's that I'll just roll the dice, or I know I don't need to.
That's right.
That's different. For me, I literally could go to a show of Craven right now in an empty theater, and I would book the ticket early to not deal with the exchange between the person at the.
You can still do the machine.
You can do the machine, but that kind of takes longer. It's
I totally get that with not talking to the person. When I had roommates, I used to pee in a jar in my room so I wouldn't have to use the bathroom.
all right. No,
And talk to people?
Do not
It's the same thing.
equate me paying 50 cents to not talk to a theater employee to you urinating in a jar in your bedroom like Howard Hughes. Don't do it. That is, what did you do with the jar? Did you just set it on the counter?
No. Then you go in the bathroom, you
After
pour it in the
they're
toilet. After they're gone,
So
yeah.
what do you do in the meantime? The jar just stays in the room?
I mean, you have a
It
lid
just-
for the jar.
It's a mason jar and it has a lid. Not anymore.
God almighty.
What you're saying makes total I don't have any problem.
Thank you,
with that.
Brand.
Just
You
makes
get
total
it.
You guys
sense.
have lost your minds.
It's like a social anxiety thing where I'm like, I can't really talk to anyone right now.
Don't
I
make
don't
fun
know
of
how to
her
not get caught in a
anxiety, Dan.
conversation. No, I
No,
shouldn't make
I'm
it
not
seem
making
like
fun of
it's
her anxiety. I am making fun of her going.
Mr. Empathy over there
No.
can't empathize
Wait a minute.
with Mason Jar
No.
Peas. You heard it here
If-
first.
If she had said she did that because she had social anxiety, she would have gotten nothing but empathy from me. What she said is you paying 50 cents is the same as that, which it is not.
Well, it's a little bit.
No. It is
a
not.
little bit.
You know what? I do stand corrected. It's not quite the same.
I think it's exactly the same. And by the way, Dan, don't act like you don't pee in a jar every day. It's disgusting. Let's talk When Goes the Heart,
What I do
season
on my own
12,
time is different.
episode 5. Mom's
That has
the
nothing
word.
to do with anxiety. It's
It's
convenience.
just a fun
I don't want to
thing.
get up
Yeah,
to pee.
It's fun.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's exactly right. It's convenient. Unless you miss, then it's not.
No, so inconvenient.
You gotta
Mom's-
lay down a towel underneath it.
Well, now we're out of hand.
Anyway.
Now we're out of hand. That person left a 2-star review. It's going to be 1 or 0.
I think this might bump them up. This is the type of humor they were waiting for. Season 12, episode 5, Mom's the Word.
Ugh.
Not to be confused with the episode they had a couple years ago called Mum's the Word.
Yeah.
Very different. February 2nd, 2025 is when it premiered, and it went a little something like this. It's time for project-based learning. Yeah.
We're going to talk
Judd-
about Sylvester today.
No, I'm going to try not to. Jed, I still wrote Judd, but I'm hearing it's Jet. Finally
Jed, yes.
tells Bill and Rosemary about the coin.
Thank God.
He says that he got it from a poker game in Union City. Also, this is when he finds out that apparently he's been counting cards. Didn't realize it. He says that he got it from Toddy Davis.
That's the name that we made up here on Back to Hallmark.
Toddy. Toddy.
Oh, Toddy Davis. Hello.
Hello.
It is me, Toddy Davis.
Nathan is not pleased with
You have
Allie's.
summoned me. I love the cards. I love the deck to Hallmark. And I'm so excited to be here.
Is your favorite card found in a deck?
It's the Joker.
The Hallmark? What'd you think about the Joker 2, Toddy?
Well, a little musical heavy for me,
Little
but I
musical.
love the darkness.
Oh my gosh, Toddy.
It's like when you said you killed your friends that one time.
Last week.
Hysterical.
Okay.
Toddy Davis is out of
I
here.
think me and Toddy might be.
Don't let the door hit you. With
Maybe
the good
do.
Lord split you.
Nathan is not pleased with Allie's interest in this Wyatt kid, but doesn't know how to address it. Lucas brings Rosemary his press release about the park. Rosemary Reason is like, what you're saying here, I understand. I bet Lee would like to hear your thoughts on this, maybe not through a press release. Rosemary and Bill talk to Nathan about Toddy, and they agree that someone should go undercover to talk to Toddy, and maybe he will become a hot Toddy and give him some of the coins. Nathan says that he could be a poker player. He could go and be a poker player.
No,
They're
like,
not
you're
sure.
terrible at poker.
They're not sure if he can handle it. We see a random woman walking the streets when a car pulls up, driven by Fiona. Fiona's
Hello.
back. Here we go. The girl's name is Ava, and her story is eerily similar to Elizabeth's story, down to the stuff being stolen from her possession upon arrival. She says that she read Elizabeth's book, and that's what led her to Hope Valley. She thought it sounded great. Nathan hears about Ava and is immediately skeptical of the similarities in their stories. Fiona tells Faith and May Sue that she isn't planning on staying. She also thinks that she's going to say yes to a guy who has proposed to her through writing 2 different times, and she said no. Why, you might be wondering? Well, she says that she feels like it's time to do that so that she can do more good and make a bigger impact. You need a man in order to do that, so that's what you're going to do. Elizabeth walks into a saloon, the saloon even, and sees Wyatt laying on thick to Ava, and he's like flirting with her, and it's like, how old is this kid? I don't know. This concerns her. Fair. And she thinks that the guy, that Wyatt is going to break Allie's heart, and that's sad. A couple of guys trick Lucas and Lee into meeting in the woods to talk about their differences. Elizabeth tries to talk to Allie about Wyatt, but it doesn't go well. She's like, you don't get it. Lee and Lucas make up, and that's nice. They dap it up. And Nathan goes undercover and successfully gets Toddy to trust him, gives him his card, and is like, let's talk. Let's do business. Allie asks Wyatt if he could go on a picnic with her. He tells her that she's nice, but she's just not his type. She's very sad about that. Not his speed is what he says. So she goes to talk to Elizabeth about it, and they have a real heart-to-heart. And she's like, you know what? You can call me Elizabeth.
Oh, boy.
And that, my friends, was
When Calls the Heart, Season 12, Episode 5, Mom's the Word. We did it.
We did do it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll break this episode down here on
Deck the Hallmark.
So you lay the towel down and then you grab the jar and then it's just like...
You lay the towel down, you have the jar on top, and then you get into the
Namaste.
squatting position.
Okay.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Let's talk One Goes to
God
Heart,
almighty.
Season 12, Episode 5, Mom's the Word. Let's get to the hot take. It's where we share our thoughts on this episode.
This is an all-access episode.
I'll start over there
a monthly
with...
subscription of some sort.
I so rarely, after I say something, like really think twice about it because I trust the community of double deckers and people that are listening. I'm like, it is what it is. There was a moment right after I said that I was like, oh, I kind of forgot.
Yeah.
That is probably a little weirder than.
Let's go to the hot take. It's time for...
Philo.tv/DTH. You can see those reactions.
It's time for us
Yep.
to share our thoughts. I'll start with you, Squatty McGee. What'd you think about this episode of television?
I loved this one. I think 4 and 5 were great episodes. I had a really good time with this. Right from the top, it's so great to see Nathan and Elizabeth together. She's showing him her project-based learning thingy, and he's like, wait, right here. They have a sexy little kiss. And then Nathan's really cute when he's talking to her about asking if Elizabeth can talk to Allie about Wyatt for him. He does this cute little face and is like, can you talk to her for me? And it's so cute. And then when Elizabeth says, sure, if you want to make him completely irresistible, like there's this banter back and forth. I'm just loving them together. Fiona's back, baby.
Fiona's
Yeah.
back.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me right now?
kidding me?
Didn't see it coming.
I'm so excited. Obviously she's been through a lot, and I'm really intrigued, and I want to pull apart that story. There's a heaviness to her as she's coming.
Do you think we're getting
town.
that story, or do you think she's leaving soon? Because she is a full-time regular on a different television program.
Okay, so excellent question. I think
I've done the research.
I've done the
Bring
research.
out your cork board. See the.
I was hoping that because she filmed one season of Landman.
Correct.
Landman. So I'm hoping that last season is when she was mostly gone into this season, and maybe now she's back for a little bit.
I took this as a goodbye to her character. Like they're going to do a little goodbye arc for her character for good. But maybe I'm wrong.
Do you think my reasoning for not being sure about that is they're laying the groundwork for another problem, which is her marrying
That's
this
true.
fella
That's true.
that she doesn't really like. And then okay, guys, you saw the look on Faith's face.
Yeah, we did. Of course.
Okay,
We did.
am I just
No.
right?
It's
Okay,
there.
so it seems like, and it's different than I'm just worried about my friend. May Sue is giving, I'm worried about
That's
my
right.
friend.
That's not what
And
Faith is giving.
That is not what she's giving. And look, where they might not go down this road. They probably won't.
They won't.
These actresses are giving it on
I
purpose,
love it.
or the director's giving it on purpose. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
I would agree.
Okay. And look, y'all, Wyatt flirting with Ava. It was just giving. It was so wild to me that when Calls the Heart went there, but I was here for it. And then everything that's blossoming between Elizabeth and Allie, really, really special. This was a really fun episode. I'm kind of confused why they introduced Ava, but I'm having fun with her, so okay.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this was another strong episode of When Calls the Heart. Not as strong, in my opinion, as 4, but another strong showing. I agree with a lot of what Jack said. I really liked Nathan this episode, and the stuff with the poker. I thought that was really fun, and I don't really I know the point of it, not necessarily, but I thought that it was fun, and so if we're going for fun, then we're going for fun, and I liked it. I agree. I don't really like when I saw Ava walking on the road. I was like, I cannot believe they're introducing another character to this program.
No kidding.
And I don't really know, like, it feels like like when like Lucas came to town and there's just like this mysterious character with a lot of secrets and we're not sure if we should trust him or not. I don't know what her deal is, and I don't know why her deal is. I don't know why she is in this program.
It is funny because, Brand, to your point, like, I get why they introduced Edie, and if they hadn't introduced her, I would think Ava was love interest for Lucas,
Right.
or if there was something that was particularly unique about her, that she's bringing a different perspective or some more diversity to the show. But this is wild to me.
So it's clear that they're trying to make us not trust her, right? And to think that she's conning them. That's my take, is that she's some sort of weird con person that read Elizabeth's book and said, or is like obsessed with Elizabeth or something. Something isn't
Yeah, the weird
right
part is
about her.
if she's conning them, she really did read the book.
Right. So but I don't know if it is like I read the book and I am obsessed with Elizabeth.
There's no way they're doing that.
I don't know I don't know why this is here, but I am. It's something new and interesting, and I'm interested to see how it plays out. And I'm ready and willing to be disappointed. But overall, an okay episode. Dano?
Yeah, I'm not with you guys here. I really didn't like this episode, but instead of not liking it in a passive nothing's happening sense, I didn't like it in the choices they made sense. So I guess that's improvement. Ava, I've not seen a character that they clearly don't know. Like it just like what they're doing isn't fair to how characters work. Like you don't like they're just giving you kind of nothing with that character, and we don't need another character. I hated Nathan getting involved with Bill and Rosemary. I love Kevin McGarry. And I think Kevin McGarry has a dry sense of humor that is really funny. And I think there are so many uses for Kevin McGarry in this show. I think he's great with Aaron Krakow. I think he's great as the town Mountie. Bill and Rosemary doing their own thing is good because it's their own thing. It is a better show if Rosemary or even Bill is the poker player. I didn't need adding a third wheel to this great duo of crime solvers that is the best thing that this show has going for it. I hated it. I actively hated the Kevin McGarry trying to do a silly walk thing. I thought it was stupid. I didn't like it at all. And all I kept thinking was, we're not getting Bill and Rosemary solving a case anymore. And that was disappointing. The Allie stuff, couldn't be more over it. Kayla Wallace coming back, good gracious. She's the best that we have here on this program. And I don't know if she's sticking around. I would assume that she isn't sticking around. That's how I read that. If she is sticking around, then that does bump this episode up a little bit. But as it stands, pretty much disliked every creative decision they made in this episode. So there's that.
Okay.
But you just called them creative decisions.
I did.
That's right.
Which is a step up
We're
over
making decisions.
It's that or nothing. I'll take that. Yeah. So it is, I guess, better than 1, 2, and 3, but it's not. I didn't like it. I did not enjoy it at all.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not the only decision that you didn't like today. Look at you, Jax, in your jar. Let's get to all the.
I didn't do it today.
What are you doing?
No, but hearing about it.
Oh, you're right. I did divulge it today.
Every time I pay 50 cents for a movie ticket now.
He's actually never going to do it again.
I can't. Now
He's never going to do it again. He's going to start standing in
No,
line
just
and talking
standing in
to
line,
teenagers
talking
like
to
the good Lord did.
And you're
that-
welcome when your kid's college fund is booming.
That's right. Put it in a jar.
But I do it. Brian's amusement is anytime there's a worker at any of those places that I get everyone's first day somehow. Because I'm more ready to go on any order than anybody taking my order ever is. And so I get in there and I start going and they're like, hold on 1 second. It's my first day. And Bran loves it. Bran thinks it's great. He thinks it's funny.
That's the thing. Like before you were intermittent fasting and before you were drinking 1 Diet Coke a day.
That's right.
You would still go and have to deal with.
That's right, because I was getting a large Diet Coke every time.
That's where I was like, if you're already going to see the person, you might as well just. He would still spend the 50 cents and then still deal with the person.
That's right.
Let's get to all the feels. We're talking about what gave us feels. Jax?
Okay, so yeah, it didn't work for Dan, but it really worked for me. Rosemary and Bill teaching Nathan he's doing
I thought it was funny.
She's like, no, this is terrible. I thought it was so funny.
I wanted to fast forward it. I hated it so much.
Here's the thing, though. To your point, Dan, I thought it was funny, but what I would have preferred after they teach him and he can't really learn, if they're like, no, Rosemary, you've got to get in there. I think that's what would have worked better. I'm okay with the bit with Nathan. I really enjoyed them as a trio like that, but then I needed him to be unsuccessful as he was, and then send Rosemary in there, and I think that
I would agree with that. Even though I thought that Nathan going to the poker game, and I thought that was fine. The best case scenario is Rosemary or Bill do it. I think that's.
Also, he just Kevin McGarry, and not to any fault of his own, because he's a good actor and also is on a show where I think a lot of people that watch the show watch it for him. But he's becomes like a robber baron of scenes in this episode. He has plenty to do. Like he and Elizabeth are going to get 2 or 3 scenes an episode. He's like, making sure everyone in town's following the law, and he's got his, head in on all these different things going on. Like Rosemary doesn't. Pascal Hutton, they don't have enough for her to do right now, and they have nothing for Jack Wagner to do. And so why get this guy who has plenty to do involved in this storyline where these two can really do their thing, and like let Pascal Hutton do what she does so well, like do these voices and characters and accents. Like we skipped all that to see Kevin McGarry look like James Bond and saunter into a casino and or whatever, a back room.
Well, I mean, there
game.
you have it though.
Yeah.
You're giving the people what they want.
Exactly. And it's frustrating, not because I think that that's fine. I just think it's like we want Bill Avery and Rosemary solving a case. We don't want them recruiting the stars of the program to do stuff for them. It didn't work for me at all. I hated it. But I get it. I'm just
happy that Rosemary and Bill are together.
Yeah.
But like Kevin Smith, are you okay? You're not doing enough in these episodes.
Just getting angry.
Hopefully everything's just getting angry. Then I really teared up and thought it was beautiful when Allie said to Elizabeth, "If I was little Jack, I would call you mom all the time."
Great line.
And then she says that she can. Thank God she said you can start calling me Elizabeth at home, because I was like, please don't say mom, please don't say mom, please don't say mom, and she didn't. So I thought that was really beautiful, and I'm really liking the way this connection is deepening. It doesn't feel cheap to me in the way that like it's a substitute mom. Like she has had this relationship with Elizabeth as her teacher for years, and now it is growing and changing and blossoming into something else. And I think that that's really beautiful.
Yeah, I thought that scene at the end was really a strong scene. I thought that it was sweet, and it really worked for me. I thought it was very nice. I also want to shout out Baby Jack, who we haven't talked about very much this season at all even. He has been going to school. It's been a whole thing.
Yeah.
And I loved.
Can you imagine a 6-year-old kid not calling his mom?
I loved Baby Jack out there. Shout out. Baby Jack says, "When can we start, Mom?" And the kids laugh, and you can see this kid processing the fact
so cute.
Like they're laughing at me. And like as a kid, you're like, what is this feeling that I'm feeling? I thought that Lil Jack and the actor who plays Lil Jack performed that wonderfully, and I thought it was very sweet. Sweet kid. Dano?
Yeah, my feel is Kayla Wallace. First of all, Kayla Wallace, but also
you guys rang.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I was wondering.
Baby Jack would
why
definitely
he
have time for
everybody?
this. What's going
up?
on?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go
I
ahead.
just want to say hi. I want to say
you seem like
thanks
you're
to
not
Brand.
nearly as surly as
I want
you.
to say, yeah, okay.
I thought you were just okay in that scene. C+.
We love you. You did a great job,
Hey,
Baby
Dan,
Jack.
Dan, I don't say this lightly.
I'm just kidding,
Suck
Baby
a duck,
Jack.
guy.
Suck a duck. Got it.
Brand, you're the best. Love you, buddy.
Cool.
Love you, Baby Jack.
Thank you, Baby Jack.
God bless everybody.
God bless. You forget how good Kayla Wallace is when she's not there for a while. But also, the one thing that was intriguing about this episode was her possible storyline. Like the idea, fighting for women's rights and fighting for equal rights, and knowing that she needs to marry someone with money to make a difference, a legitimate decision that women in the 1920s had to do regularly, and knowing how strong and independent she is. A fascinating storyline. I'm sure we won't get that storyline like we would hope to get it. But that was the one thing in this entire episode that made me, and it didn't hurt. I mean, Kayla Wallace being back didn't hurt, but like that storyline I thought was just like, oh, are they going to do this or is this just a send off? And I couldn't tell, but that was the one thing that worked for me.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to the Way What's and we'll get to the hopes and values here on Deck the Hallmark. All right, let's get to it, everybody. Hey. When Goes Hard, Season 12, Episode 5. Mom's the Word. It's time for the Way What Is, where we talk about what in this episode made us go, Way What? I'll start with you, Jax.
I mean, look, delightful actress, and I'm enjoying it, but Ava is an entire wait, what?
God almighty. It's
like,
terrible.
what is happening?
It's so bad.
I'm into it, but it's just it's nonsensical. I laughed out loud when Hickam was talking about how Ava bought a round of drinks for everyone in the saloon. He's like, and when I say bought, I do not mean paid for. So this woman is in there running up a tab. Like, it's not like she's just taking up a room, which in and of itself would be a whole thing, but she's acting like she has money because she's an heiress.
I think that was where I never bought her in general, but that is where I officially was like, this is so lazy. Because if she is someone that really lost her bags and is an heiress and knows she's not paying for this or has to pay back, I don't see her doing that. It's more plausible that she would do that than if she was someone who's shady and trying to lay low. They would never do that. And so I don't, there's no doubt here. It's just a poorly written character. It was funny to watch Hickam go, she bought a whole round of drinks and she didn't buy them. That was funny, but
yeah,
I just didn't understand. I just don't think it's good. I think it's just not a good plot line. But
well,
it's
and to
something.
your point about if she is shady, I think she should be better being shady. Like when they're out in the project-based learning thing, and she's, basically like talking to Allie and being like, oh, yes, school's so boring. And Allie's like, I thought you wanted to be a teacher. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm just like, oh, okay. So I just really
shady.
I'm not sure where this is going. Yeah. I'm here for the ride because I think either it's going to get real entertaining or it's going to get real messy. And either way, I'll like it.
Yeah, of course.
Is that it?
That's
okay.
it.
I have a few. One, shout out to the project-based learning weird presentation that she put together. I know that Nathan was tracking with it. Your boy Brain was not tracking with it. The drawings were weird. I don't know what that science drawing was. It was weird. And it also, brought back memories of having to do project-based learning, and I didn't like that. But this whole presentation was just wacky new.
Listen, we have a lot of fun here at Deck the Hallmark, and last week I gave them a hard time for using the Charleston that had not been invented by 2 or 3 years. Project-based learning, the idea of having kids in groups doing a project has existed for millennia. The term project-based learning wasn't around until the 60s or 70s. Like, this is all out stupid. It's all out stupid that she has invented project-based learning or has started it in her classroom and has called it that is so dumb. It is just a field trip to the woods.
Listen, she
That's
was using
all
her.
it is.
She was learning. She was using her blue sky thinking, and she was doing her project-based learning, and she was good to go.
And there's a place for, as much as Brain hates it, there's a place for project-based learning.
Sure,
but I guarantee you, in a 1920s schoolhouse, that was not it. They were mastery level repetition. That's all they were doing. They were reading, writing, doing their letters, doing their arithmetic. They were not doing project-based learning, not on your best day in 1920 or 1950.
But what was
that
science drawing? It was like a weird
circle
with numbers in it?
Yeah.
I don't know science, so I don't know if I just missed it.
I just think that they needed the quickest explanation between 2 points, which is how do we get Ava out into the woods and let's make it project-based learning.
Project-based learning.
It was real bad.
Lucas sees Fiona is back and is like, "Hey, great to see you. Let's catch up. You can find me anytime in the cafe." I don't think in this series I've ever seen Lucas in the cafe. Now I know he and Lee are in a fight. He's not going to be hanging out.
Yeah.
In the
bar that he owns.
the bar that he's part owner or sold it.
He still has some
Yeah,
vested
but
interest in the bar.
I've never seen him in the cafe, and he's like,
Yeah.
"You can find me anytime."
I've
in the
not seen
cafe."
anyone in the cafe in years.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Last
Yeah,
but
where's
not,
Joseph's wife? What's her name? Ms. Candy?
she was
Minnie.
in last episode.
She was?
for a
Minnie.
second.
Very briefly, she was.
Yep.
You're right. Minnie.
Last but not least, the scene that I thought was very sweet to end the episode. It did make me laugh when she's outside and she's strumming on her guitar, and Elizabeth comes out and is like, "I brought you this shawl. It's getting cold out here," and the way that she used this covering is to cover up the part of her arms that are already covered by sleeves. And so instead of like covering it up like here where she might be cold,
That's right.
it's like you just drape it around your shoulders.
It's a shawl
where
drape situation.
It's a shawl drape
Yeah.
right over your shoulders are going to be nice and toasty. It's going to be great. Dano?
I rewound it once, but didn't have any more time this morning, and I could be talked out of this, but I'm pretty sure instead of card shark, Bill says card sharp.
I Googled this.
Okay, so it is a thing?
It's both.
Okay,
it
good.
originally was card sharp. That was the thing, but then it became card shark because that's what everyone thought it was saying. So now they're both correct.
I love that. Thank you, Jax. But also, how about When Calls the Heart deciding this is their stand on being historically accurate?
And didn't
Card
he
sharp.
really hit that P, that plosive?
He
didn't
did, because that's what made me rewind.
Same.
I was like, did he say card sharp? But I learned something new. It's like how people say chomping at the bit now. It's actually champing at the bit. But people say chomping at the bit, like that horse is just like, I'm going to give me that bit. It's actually champing at the bit. That's something that's a fun fact for you guys. That
All
nobody
right,
cares.
champ.
Dan, it did feel like someone was like, I know it's shark.
That's right.
And I'm
It's like-
gonna put it in there so that when people say it's shark, I can be like, no, that's
exactly
actually
right.
wrong.
It's a gotcha. It's like, is project-based learning a half decade off? Yes.
This is
the
a
Charleston?
classic damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
That's right.
If they don't do it, we're going to be like, well, did you know? And then they do it, and we're like, well, did you know?
I would not have caught card shark.
No,
being
but
wrong.
somebody would have.
Yeah, somebody
And so
would.
this is a classic situation.
But they're both right. They're both right.
There you
That
go.
on this particular case, historically, they did do right. It sounds like so awesome.
Jax is a Google sharp.
Google
That's what we
sharp.
found out.
No,
She
because
is.
Dan, to your point, it hit me so weird that I needed
As
to
soon
know.
as he hit that, he just went sharp, and I was like, "What?" And so good. I'm glad you did the research. I didn't even give it a second thought. I was like, "Hey, just something happened." I mean, Jack Wagner's doing his own thing over there. I don't know. We talked about project-based learning being hilarious. If you pour cream into someone's coffee without asking if they want it first, that should be a crime. You should be arrested for that activity. He's like, "Do you want coffee?" And he just starts pouring cream in it. What in the world are you doing? Coffee is sacred, man. Everyone likes their coffee different. You don't just like say you want coffee, then let them make it however they want to make it. Wyatt, get out of here. You're fired. Like, did nobody else care?
No.
Man, I cared. I was like,
I thought the whole thing was gross because he's like,
oh, and then
you're
he said
so
you wanted any
sweet.
sugar in there. Yeah, then it got
Yeah, I
gross.
think he
True.
was just doing
Yeah.
doing that to get to there.
Yeah,
He was
fair,
like, I
of
got
course.
this line. Here's how I'm
Yes.
going to get there.
At one point early on, no, it's when Ava's going to come spend the day with Elizabeth, and she's like, "Do you want to change clothes? It can get a bit marshy." Well, one, she doesn't have any other clothes, but two, Elizabeth, what you're wearing is barely better than what she is wearing for a marsh. Like Elizabeth is wearing a skirt that is not bright or white or floral, but she's wearing a top that's white and floral. She's still wearing shoes with heels on them. Like, I just didn't understand why Elizabeth decided what she was wearing was marsh appropriate and what Ava wearing was not marsh appropriate. I thought they both were not marsh appropriate.
I'll just say that as they were going out there, all I was thinking was Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
Nicely done. That's really good stuff.
That was good.
Good
Thank
stuff. And I just want to point out, as someone that has been allergic to poison ivy and poison oak my whole life, the thing you do not do when you contract poison oak is wrap a tight bandage around it. They take Ava, who contracts poison oak, to the doctor. And in 1920, I'm pretty sure the procedure was maybe some sort of calamine or nothing. And they wrap a tight bandage around her poison oak.
Gotta air it out.
You don't let it sweat. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that was an actual medical procedure that was going on. I started to itch just thinking about wrapping an ace bandage around poison ivy. That's a terrible idea. Please don't do it ever. That's all I got.
It's time for Hopes and Valleys. This is where we talk about what's giving us hope for the future and or bumming us out. Jax.
I'm hopeful that we're going to get a full storyline with Fiona and that her and Faith might have a little romance, and I'm bummed out because I think Dan's right. I think that's probably not the case. And This is probably the beginning of probably actually a pretty short arc. Goodbye.
I'm gonna choose to be hopeful this week, although I'm particularly bummed about a few different things and concerned about it even. But I have hope that that if they saw it fit to bring in a new character and have her be suspicious, that it is going to lead to something interesting.
So cool of you.
I am hopeful, and I'm going to say that hope out loud, which I have done and have concluded. Dan?
All valleys this week. We've ruined Bill and Rosemary's fun time detective work.
Did we have a clock? Did you clock it?
I did
week?
5 minutes, 35 seconds. It felt like more. And I did not include Nathan walking into the casino and playing poker until it led to coin talk. If you want to include that, it's a little bit more.
I think
But
I think that should be
5.5. That's not Bill and Rosemary doing coin detective work.
Okay,
I didn't count it. If you want to count it a little bit more, but roughly 5.5 minutes this week. So that's about what we need every week.
5.5. You need
5.5, and need a little bit more because we only had 3. It's not important. So all valleys for me. I don't care about the Wyatt and Earl plot line. I don't care about the Ava, the new character, and they're ruining the one thing I did care about. And unless Kayla Wallace sticks around, it's going to be tough times ahead. So all valleys for me.
It's time for the What's Calling My Heart. It's where somebody emails in to hello@deckthehallmark.com, something that's calling their heart, i.e. something that's making them happy, something like that.
Bran, if you remember a few weeks ago, we read an email from Sarah Wallace where she said she loved the When Calls the Heart episodes and intimated that those were what she listened to, and you gave her a hard time and was like, that's all you, and then we were like, is that all she listens to?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
She wrote us back in.
Okay.
So we bumped this up to the top of the
it's
list.
good to know that she's still listening.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
She
nice.
says, hello again. I wanted to answer your question,
Well, hello
Bran,
there.
and let you know that I do indeed listen to your other episodes. And much to Dan's dismay, I really love the preview episodes.
Everyone does.
I know they're a waste of time for y'all, but I
Nope.
find them hilarious. It is not unanimous. Don't say everyone does. It's not unanimous. I am,
99%
however,
of people.
partial to When Calls the Heart episodes as I watch the show with my mom, who thinks it is a must-watch cinematic masterpiece. After all, her argument is you wouldn't have 12 seasons unless it was a brilliant work of art.
That's right.
Right?
Amen.
A sentiment that I do not share but have yet to tell her. Anyway, thank you for always giving your honest and best critiques. I will be here with y'all until the show dies. Yes, Dan, I am on season 12 now. Sincerely, Sarah Wallace. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. It's very nice. Very nice indeed. Jax, this is it. We did it.
It is not
We
it,
did
but
it,
there's more
guys.
next week.
All the letters are always so well written. People are really funny, and they're good at turning a phrase.
Yeah, they are. Can't wait for those jar and towel ones we got
Oh
coming
my
up.
gosh, it's gonna be crazy. Wait until the
Oh
card
no!
sharps
Please,
come
guys,
out.
please don't leave a 1-star review about that.
I think it's gonna only 5 stars. If you've ever peed in a jar, leave a 5-star review and let us know. Let us know in the
my
reviews.
God.
Just let
All
us
right.
know.
Okay. All right.
All right, we did it. We'll be back next time with another one. Until then, may the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.
Oh my gosh.
Look out.